pretending the first set of questions of how this mutation works and where are the differences. As Megan says, you know, not a single kid is the same. Okay, very important to know. Depending on how affected the protein is, of how, you know, if it is present, if it is not present, there's no life. Remember that. If there is life, it's because the protein is produced somehow, a little bit affected or terribly affected, but it is functioning. That is why there is life, okay? In boys, that is the solely factor that affects how severe the boys are going to be, how the protein is affected, the form of the final protein. However, between people with exactly the same variant, with exactly the same mutation, there are differences. For instance, Megan's children, they're both boys with exactly the same variant, and they're different. They have expressions, they have symptoms that are different. So even in that level, we see differences. With girls, the situation is even more complicated, because with girls, you know that this gene sits on the X chromosome. You have heard, obviously, that sits on the X chromosome. And we girls have 2 X chromosomes. Boys have only 1. We girls have 2. And it is on one of those X chromosomes. We have not come across a single case in which the mutation exists in both chromosomes. So we call it heterozygous, only one side, only one chromosome. Now, what happens with bodies of women is that when you have a mutation in one of those 2 X chromosomes, your body tends to delete the function of one chromosome and leave only the other chromosome expressed. That is a natural phenomenon that happens in every woman that is called x-inactivation, okay? So every single woman has the process of x-inactivation, in which your body randomly inactivates one of the 2 chromosomes to give the father chromosome the possibility of expressing at the same rate as the mother chromosome, the possibility of expressing. Otherwise, we will have double expression. So 50% of your chromosomes, of your X chromosomes, are inactivated in a woman randomly, and 50% are activated. In a condition like ZARD, or a condition like ZARD, where one gene on the X chromosome is mutated, the body goes like, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna inactivate and deactivate favorably towards one chromosome, towards one part of the chromosome, and unfavorably towards the other. So the body starts inactivating in a skewed fashion, what we call skewed. So we don't have a 50-50 inactivation, but we can have like 80-20, 70-30. And sometimes that inactivated chromosome contains the mutation. Sometimes it doesn't. The other inactivated chromosome contains the mutation. So the X inactivation determines in women how severe the condition is. Allow me to give an example. Carrier mothers, most of the boys have carrier mothers, right? It comes from the mother. Not all of them, but most. The mothers can be completely asymptomatic, don't have anything, not even the slightest symptom. Yet they have the mutation in their bodies. How is that possible? Because their bodies, by the grace of we don't know what, but it happened, inactivated the chromosome, the X chromosome that contained the mutation, completely wiped it away, inactivated, and only left active the chromosome that didn't contain the mutation. So the mutation is not expressed, that the body produces a protein that is okay, that is not mutated. That is in the case of a carrier that is 100% that doesn't have any symptom. In the case of most of our girls, that activation inactivation happened skewed. Some of the chromosomes containing the mutation were inactivated, and some of the chromosomes not containing the mutation were inactivated. And that is a test that can be done in girls. However, don't waste your time and your money making the test, because there is no correlation so far found between the X inactivation and the rate of severity. But what we know is that apart from the protein the effect on the protein, the mutation of the protein, X-inactivation plays a huge role. There is a lot of girls with deletions. I don't know if some of here have girls with deletions. Not that I'm aware of. But my girl, for instance, has a deletion. That means that almost the entire ZC4H2 gene, not one letter, the entire gene was wiped out. We don't know why, but the entire gene, boom, it wasn't produced. How comes that she is alive? Because her body has 2 X chromosomes. One X chromosome has a gene that is mutated and the other one has a gene that is not mutated. And her body inactivated partially that mutated chromosome and left part of that good chromosome, part of that number of good chromosomes working. So she produces a protein that is completely okay, is not truncated, is not deformed, is completely okay, but she produces it in very minimal quantities, not enough for the normal development. So in girls, X-inactivation and how the protein is affected, and in boys, how the protein is affected. Those are the factors that determine severity.